If you are interested in stock market trading or trading options, you've probably come across the name Jim Fink at some point. He has a number of different products out there, and if you've done any searching at all on the internet, you've probably run across one of them. Today we want to talk about his options for income product. Let's start off by talking about advertising. When a product is advertised too much and pops up on our feed all the time, that seems like a red flag to us. You all know the ones we're talking about. If you've ever searched for stock market and once that cookie gets in your computer, then all of a sudden you're getting these same advertisements over and over and over again trying to sell you their product. That's a red flag. We did not have that problem with Jim Fink's options for income, which is a good sign. However, what we did notice is the claim that you can make $65,000 per year. When they start throwing numbers around, especially relatively large numbers, that always makes us take a second look. There were a couple of red flags. One is we have no idea how much risk we'd have to take per trade. We don't know how large of an account we would need or what any potential drawdown would be. So we decided to take a closer look. Once we got into the program, we realized we were going to have to make a few changes. First of all, Jim recommended trading 10 contracts per trade. That would just tie up too much capital in our account, so we had to reduce that. I guess there goes our potential for $65,000, right? In case you're wondering why we decided not to use 10 contracts, you probably are, so we'll tell you. We did some math, and if each trade he gave us lasted 60 days, and assuming a 5-point spread on every trade, you're going to need about $80,000 in your account just to keep up with those trades. And that's assuming if you don't have to make any adjustments or you end up with more trades because of adjustments. That's why we decided not to go with the 10 contracts. We would also like to point out, in all fairness to Jim Fink and his options for income program, we did not 100% follow his recommendations. We are traders ourselves, and as we noticed some issues with some of the positions, we decided sometimes to close early to take close to full profit. We also decided against rolling some of the trades because one of them went out 2 years, and also because some of them increased risk. We really just did not feel that the people signing up for the program would have anticipated those type of trades, so we thought it was unfair. So we did not follow them. We just wanted to point these things out since we do give our results at the end of this video, and you need to be aware that we did make some changes. So what kind of problems did we run into? And there were a few pretty big ones. First of all, Jim would recommend selling a spread for X. Then he would say move it down every 30 minutes until you got filled. Well, that makes it very difficult for me to match his numbers since I have no idea where he's actually getting filled at. And it really puts a big variance on what I can expect long term. The second thing were rollouts. In watching him trade, it almost appeared that an unrealized loss never counts. You just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. One, he even rolled out for 2 years. And obviously, we didn't take that trade. We went ahead and closed it and took the loss. The next really big thing is a lot of trades went into the money. And sometimes they went into the money a lot. And what that means is you're much more likely to get assigned. So you end up, instead of having a short option, you're long those shares. So you may wake up and you're showing negative $20,000 in cash in your account. Now your overall risk didn't change. You can sell the shares and then sell your long and get out of it and unwind it. But it's still pretty scary to wake up and show a huge negative cash number in your account that you're not expecting. Plus, those trades are losses to us. There's really no way to go in and sell another short option and stay in that trade. It's also very difficult to roll them without spending a lot of money. Because again, they're really in the money, so you may just get assigned again, and commissions start to add up and up and up. Also keep in mind that just because one person got assigned doesn't mean everyone did. Jim might still be in the position. Or half the people that are following his recommendations still may be in the position. You could have just been the unlucky one. So now you're not with the crowd anymore as you're trying to follow these trades. Some other issues we ran into was that sometimes the strikes would become further apart. So a trade you entered at 5 points could become 10 points or 15 points, which substantially increases your risk and the amount of money in your account that you have to allocate to cover that trade. It's hard to guess how to allocate your funds if a 60-day trade may turn into a 2-year trade. Another thing that really surprised us is the forum moderators were very rude and unhelpful. This is especially true with newbie type questions, people that didn't really understand the strategy and had a lot of questions that perhaps were answered other places in the forum, but as they watch a trade go against them, if you're not familiar with options trading, you can panic, especially if you don't know how to fix it. These are the people that the forum moderators seem to have the least amount of patience with, which we thought was a real shame. We could feel their pain. We've been there. So this is the part you've probably been waiting on. What were our results? Well, the good news is 80% of our trades were profitable. Of course, keep in mind, as we said in the beginning, we did not 100% follow all of his trade recommendations. So perhaps Jim had a better percentage than we did, and it's also possible some of the other traders in the room may have had a better percentage than we did. Our average time in trade was 66 days. Remember, we skipped crazy rolls that went out a year or more. So that means we took some losses instead of rolls. Our average contract averaged out to be about 2.6. Again, we did not do the 10 he recommended. In our account with other trades we had going on, it ended up being about a 2.6 average. Our average risk, because of the number of contracts we traded and the spreads, was about $1,000 per trade. So you probably said 80%. That's great, didn't you? Yeah, we did too. Anytime a trader tells you he's 80% or 70% or whatever profitable, you need to immediately raise your hand and ask, yes, but what was your average profit per contract and what was your average loss per contract? Because you can still lose money even if you're 80% right. And that is exactly what happened to us. During our test of Jim Fink's option for income, we actually lost money. Not a lot, even with an 80% success rate. Again, yes, we didn't completely follow all the recommendations, and we had difficulty getting some of the fills that he probably got. All I can tell you is, based on everything we've given you so far in the video, we had a loss. 80% success rate and still had a loss. Because we want to be very, very fair, we acknowledge that Jim would probably argue that we did not 100% follow his recommendations. Again, that's a true statement. However, we had difficulty getting the fills he was showing. We got assigned. We didn't want to roll out 2 years, and we did not usually increase risk on a trade that was already losing. That was our decision. Were we right? Were we wrong? That's for you to decide. So the big question, do we think this is a legitimate options trading program? First of all, we think Jim is a real person, and by that we mean we believe that he's a real trader. We never actually spoke to Jim, although it would be nice to sit down and pick his brain and talk about trading with him, because he obviously does have a lot of knowledge. We think he believes in his system, and it's possible that he might get the results he claims. However, we do think it'd be difficult for a beginner options trader, especially with a smaller account, to do that. Perhaps somewhere buried in the forums there were answers to some of the problems we ran into. However, it still probably wouldn't fit our personal trading styles. We think he's probably an honest trader. We don't think he's a guru that's just trying to take your money. His system makes sense and it has merit. He probably has been trading it a while, as he says, and it wouldn't surprise me that if he is profitable. It's just difficult to copy someone else's trade. It always is. So no, it's not a scam, at least not in our opinion. You really need to understand your risk. You need to understand how the trades work. Probably shouldn't do this if you're a beginner. It's always great to paper or virtual trade before you start a new trading system. However, please remember, the fills you get when paper trading are not the same as live fills. Also, the emotions are a lot different. When it's not really your money, you don't really stress like you do when it's a real trade. Overall, we just didn't think the options for income strategy was for us. We think there are some easier and perhaps better options trading strategies out there. Now, better is somewhat of a relative term because a lot of it depends on your risk tolerance and the type of trading you like to do and the size of your account, so you have to keep all that in mind. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We have a lot more reviews like this on our website at underpaidoverwork.com if you'd like to go there and look for them. We would also be willing to put more of them on video if there's an interest. Best way to get us to do that is to like our videos. You can start with this one, just press the like button, and also subscribe to our channel. The more subscribers we have, the more time and effort we'll put into converting some of our other reviews into videos. Again, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and visit our website at underpaidoverwork.com, and we'll keep producing this type of content for you. Also, we welcome your comments below. We always like to know what our viewers think. Thank you for your time and hope you enjoyed the video.